Hi there, it's Lori, and this video is almost exclusively going to be a story. So, first, I had been making those mini ornaments, and I'll use Linda's snowflake at Linda's Crochet channel. Pretend this was like hooked, had a hook on it. So she stiffened that, and so you could put a hook through it or whatever you want to do. Like I've been just putting it in this little tape. But imagine this has a hook on it like this one, or a loop. But I had the little red hats, right? I knew I needed 3 for my doctor's appointment with my neurologist. Anyway, and I'll get to a medical update, but it's not like anything heavy. It's more funny than anything. But it'll give you some information about it anyway. Okay, I'm inserting a little warning here. Chances are this next little thing I'm going to tell you will make you cry because it will touch your heart. Not a sad cry, but it will affect you. So, warning in advance. It's only about a minute long, maybe 2 minutes. So, I went in, and remember I told you that I give these kinds of things. I make them to give. I would never give Linda's, but because that's mine. But I give these to people like the receptionist at the doctor's offices, or, random, like you leave it with your tip. Don't leave it as your tip, okay? No, leave it with your tip. For a waiter or waitress, wait staff, we'll just generalize. Anyway, so I went in, I had the hats, and the lady who checked me in, she's either so nice or so not in the best mood. You don't know which one you're going to get. Mostly she's been nothing but lovely to me. The days she has been short, I guess would be the way. Not short physically, but short, like abrupt, whatever. With me, it seems like it's a little bit chaotic in there. It's busy, so I've always just assumed it was a stressful day. Okay, she's approximately my age. I'm going to say she's as young as 5 years younger than me, but I don't think so. And as old as 5 years older than me. I'm going to guess she's somewhere in that range. Anyway. So, but she's regularly who checks me in. Not always. There's a couple other staff members at the front desk. So she's checking me in. She's like, all right. And then she was typing something, and then I set the little hat. I don't have any left, so I can't show you the little red hat with the little green puffball on the top. I don't even know where my puffballs are at the moment. Anyway, so I take the little ornament, and it had the nice long loop. I set it down in front of her, and it said, I think I said Happy Holidays, but honestly, she was wearing Christmas stuff, so I hope I said Merry Christmas, because contextual, right? Either way, I said one of those things to her, and she said, this is so cute. Did you make this? And I said, yes. And she hugged it like this. And she said, I have a 3-foot tall Christmas tree. I just lost my mom. And sorry. Oh, I should have warned you. Maybe I'll go back and put a warning in. And I will treasure this. So the 3-foot tree, she's like, I'm going to go home, put this on my mom's tree, and I will treasure this. So, thankfully, I had a few minutes to recover from that. And I went into the doctor's office. Well, that's the whole second part of this story. Yes, I'm definitely going to put a cry warning in front of that. So I have to pause this for now. I'll be right back. All right, that was a whole long pause. Anyway, so I go back. I'm waiting for my neurologist, and he comes in to talk about my lumbar puncture results. Again, this is not going to get graphic or even upsetting or anything. This is actually just par for the course with me, just kind of funny. Anyway, so he says, okay, your pressure is this number, which is the very top of normal. but we really don't treat until you're at this number, which is higher. And so I'm really not sure what to think about the result. And I said, well, but what you need to know is that as soon as she started, the cat just jumped up here. As soon as she started removing fluid, I could feel pressure releasing from my head. And I felt better for 2 to 3 weeks afterwards. He looks at me and he said, literally no one feels better from a lumbar puncture. No one. Just like that. And he repeated it a couple times later in the conversation too. Literally, I am the only person he's ever heard of feeling better after a lumbar puncture. So he's like, well, given that information, I see 3 options for us. But I think door number 1 is the pathway we need to pursue. And he proceeds to tell me more about door number 1. Turns out the medicine that I'm gonna start taking now. Get ready to laugh. Oh, quick reminder, I live in Colorado. I live at about 5,500 feet above sea level. Okay, that's important for what I'm about to tell you. The medication he is prescribing me is supposed to reduce your body's production of fluid. Okay, he said that's gonna help my knees and all that stuff. Anyway, but here's the funny part. This medicine is for high altitude sickness. That's its main purpose. Yeah. Cool, right? It is for other things, but I've lived here my whole life. So I think this is hilarious. And silly. Anyway. Yeah. So there you go. So that was that part of it. That's what's funny. And the fact that he kept repeating, literally no one feels better from a lumbar puncture. So he's like, it's got to be something with your fluid and your pressures. It's got to be, because there's not any other explanation. And he didn't really he had a door number 2 and door number 3. Number 3, he really was thinking that's not going to do the trick. Door number 2, he's like, it's really tough on people's stomachs, so I don't know if that's any good. Anyway, so yes, I am possibly permanently on high altitude sickness medication. We shall see. He says there's another medicine that he can't prescribe. I have to go to my regular doctor because it works best if I take that medicine with it. But he can't prescribe it because it's not a neurological medicine. Weird insurance, whatever. Okay, so hopefully, I haven't taken the med yet, so I don't know, because I finally just got it today, which is a day after I saw him. But anyway, Missy's come to join us. Missy, say hello. Missy, say hello. Missy, Missy, Missy. So I get home from that, and I called. I texted a couple people like my sister and I text my sister. I don't text my dad because he's not getting back to me. 83 claims to be 35. So yeah. Anyway, I called them and I explained to them the story about how he kept going. Literally no one feels better from the lumbar puncture. No one. So once again, I am some kind of weird anomaly. Welcome to my world. Yes. And so my sister at the end of the call, she goes, so you basically had me call you so you could tell me that you're not normal. Lori, I already knew this. So, okay, because my family, we're all pretty lighthearted about these things. And again, this is very lighthearted update. Sorry, I started with the tearjerker there. Sorry about that. Anyway, so then I get home, finally. Oh, and I get a text from my husband. He wants to take me out to lunch. I'm like, I'm not going to say no to that, like, ever. About 2 hours later or so, I'm upstairs. I'd come up here. I was trying to get stuff organized. I think I was working on Moana hair. Still working on Moana hair. And we get the Ring doorbell. Again, we don't have Ring brand. We have Eufy or I don't know. EUFY is the brand because it's not a monthly subscription, not prescription. So it's one and done. You pay the fee, you install it, you're good to go. Yeah, it just doesn't store anything for you. So I can see somebody with flowers. So I head downstairs to get them because they're just standing there. They can't just leave them. And my husband got to the door before I did because he was downstairs. And the guy says, Lori? And I said, I'm Lori. And he hands these flowers to my husband. My husband looks at me and goes, I didn't get them for you. Who got you flowers? I'm like, I have no idea. And this is what it was. It's beautiful. And when I opened the card, it's like a centerpiece arrangement. I love the little basket. That will get used permanently. It was from my dad and my sister to both my husband and I. So, yes. Just so funny. Him looking at me going, well, I didn't get them for you. I'm like, I know, because you already got me birthday flowers. Why would you give me Christmas flowers? Because that's not my thing. I much prefer like actual plants if somebody gets me a plant. But I love this. This is beautiful and it's lovely and I appreciate it. And they were trying to do buy local, so they found a florist near me and then sent those in. But beautiful flowers. This all happened in one day. It was a wild day. It was a good day. But yeah, so I will be on high altitude sickness medicine. And supposedly it's going to tell my body to reduce the production of fluid. I guess in my whole body. I don't think it's just specific to spinal fluid. And we'll see. And then we'll see if my regular doctor will put me on that other med or if insurance will approve it. That's really the question mark with that one. But if I have an update on that, I will share it. I wanted to show you this shirt because it's so cute. Anyway, I really appreciate you all. Once again, verified, I am not normal. There's nobody else in the whole wide world anything like me. And small acts of kindness can mean the world to somebody else. That little hat ornament meant everything to that woman and then also helped me understand why she's maybe had a tough year. I don't know when it happened, but it definitely recent. So, and I know a lot of you have been in those shoes and you're having anniversaries, not the kind you want, and me too, on the 26th. So seriously, 100%, I appreciate you all, and I mean it. Hugs to you all. I wish I could hug every one of you because I know so many of you, this is a tough time. But those small acts of kindness, you can make somebody's season a little easier to deal with. And it doesn't have to just be this season. So keep that in mind too. I think we should do, I'm going to call it Galentine's, but that's not leaving the men out. Those kinds of little things, random acts of kindness, crochet kindness, I think is what it's called on Facebook. Anyway, thinking about that story got me going again. Anyway, I mean it with my whole heart. I appreciate you, and hugs to you all. Oh, can I get an amen? And hugs to you all.